Most cowl neckline tutorials leave you with a stiff basic drape that has no luxurious fullness. Some use a completely guessed formula that the neckline is way too deep, the shoulder and the armhole is totally falling. I'm saying all of this because I've been there. And the part I hate the most is the part where I have to reshape and shape again and again just to get a perfect fit. In this video, I'll be showing you the hidden breakthrough method you need to achieve a perfectly fitted, luxurious cowl neckline top. If after this video your cowl neckline top does not come out perfect, feel free to come to the comment section and prove me wrong. Greetings everyone, let's get started. First, I'll draw up my startup lines. All my measurements will start after my startup line. Placing my tape on that point, I'll mark out the bust points, the half length and the full length. On the other side of the paper, I'm going to mark out the same points and connect these points with a straight line. Next, label the lines, the bust points, the half length and the full length accordingly. On the top line, mark out shoulder measurement divided by 2. For the neck width, I mark out 4.5 inches. For the neck depth, I'm marking out 1 inch. I'll go ahead to connect this with a curved line. Come down half inches on the shoulder and you slant it to the neck width. On the bust point line, you go up by 2 inches. This will be our armhole depth. On that point, you mark out your shoulder measurement divided by 2, connect it to the shoulder. Extend the armhole depth line further, and on your armhole depth line, you mark out your bust measurement divided by 4. Then you go ahead to make your armhole curve. By getting the midpoint of your armhole, you go in by half of an inch and you make your armhole curve. This point is our bust measurement. You go to your half length and you insert your waist measurement divided by 4. On the full length, you mark out your hip measurement divided by 4, and I will go ahead to connect these points together. Next, I'll go ahead to add 1 inch allowance to my point and I will connect it with a line like this. I will add 1 inch allowance to the hem as well. Add half inch allowance to the armhole and to the shoulder as I cut it out. I place my fabric on fold and I cut out one piece for the back part. But if you intend to add a zipper, do well to include your zipper allowance. Following the back pattern and the back neckline, I went ahead to turn up for the neck. This is 4 inches wide and it was also cut on fold. Unpin the pattern paper from the fabric, open up the back piece, take out my turn up, place it on the neckline right side facing right side, pin it up, and I'm going to sew the neckline using half of an inch. Next, I will alter this pattern to cut out the front part. Place your tape 1 inch upward, which is our back neck depth, and I'm going to measure my front neck depth divided by 2. For a cowl neckline, this is how you measure the neck depth. We do not measure it straight. Place your tape to get it to be as deep as you want it to be. If your desired neck depth divided by 2 is more than your bust point, mark out something that is 1 inch above your bust point. I'll show you how to get your desired neck depth as we proceed. Next, you connect it to your neck width and you cut it out. On the bust point, you slash your pattern to the tip of your paper. Do not cut through. It should be flexible enough to be able to move your pattern freely. Get another pattern paper. This paper should be straight at the down part and at the front center. This will make it easy for the later stage. Place your pattern paper on it, making sure that the down is seated at the straight down part and the front center is seated at the front straight part. Pin this up to keep it down. Next, you go ahead to spray your slash effect. At this point, when you spray it, you measure it and you ensure you are getting your desired neck depth divided by 2. Mine is 10.5. Just place your tape and ensure that the tip of the shoulder is giving you your desired neck depth divided by 2. To keep it at that point, I'll go ahead to pin it up, and just so that I'll be sure, I'll go ahead to measure it to confirm that it's my desired neck depth. For the next part, you want to ensure that the top part of your pattern is also straight. You measure from the tip of your pattern to the tip of your shoulder. Whatever you get at that point, you measure it at the other end of the pattern as you see me do, and you connect it with a straight line. Next, we are going to cut exactly what we have here out. I'll go ahead to unpin the first pattern, and this new pattern will be the pattern we'll be working with now. If you use this pattern for your cowl neckline, you'll be getting a basic cowl effect. So next, I'm going to show you how to get a luxurious effect. You bring back your pattern and you indicate the bust point on this new pattern. This is very important. You'll be seeing the use of it as we proceed. Next, I'm going to make slash lines. You slash from your shoulder to your neckline and you are making 3 slash lines. If you know you cannot get lines that will be equal, you can measure it, making sure that the shoulder area is smaller than the one coming to the center. Kindly note that your slash line should not go beyond your bust point and it should not go into your armhole. Indicate where your actual shoulder is, then you go ahead to slash this up. After slashing this up, you get another pattern paper, and as usual, the down part, the center, and the up of the pattern should have a straight cut. You don't need to place the full pattern on this new pattern paper, rather you bring your pattern down, but the front center should be placed equally on the tip of the new pattern paper. Hold this part down with your masking tape like this. Cut out one of the slash effects and you are going to spray it with a gap of 3 inches. From the previous cutout, you measure 3 inches upwards on the front and 3 inches upwards on the shoulder. You pin it down to hold it down. You cut out the next slash and you measure 3 inches upwards from the previous slash on the neckline and on the shoulder, and you pin that down. You repeat the same process for the last slash and you pin it down. Measure the top piece and this should be giving your actual neck depth divided by 2. Hold each slash piece with a masking tape at the top and at the down of each slash line. On the top of the pattern, I'm going to add a masking tape and I'm going to add another pattern. Mark out a straight line on the top piece. Get the width of each slash piece, like how wide each of them is. Next, you are going to get the up and the down of each slash piece. Just indicate the up and the down like this. On the top line, you go ahead to place your pattern on fold, making our full pattern to be underneath our drafted pattern. You pin it down to keep the both pattern stable. Remember, this mark is our bust point. You come down from your bust point by 5 inches. Mark it out with a straight line, then on your main pattern, you place it on fold on that line. Then on the extra pattern that is under, you are going to cut it on that fold. Bring your main pattern down and you follow the exact side shaping and the armhole curve, but for the shoulder, you just cut it roughly like this. For the next step, you need your pattern to be stable, so you go ahead to pin the both patterns together. You are going to pick up the tip of the first slash and you are going to be placing it on the starting point of the next slash. You don't need to worry about the center part being equal, but you have to make sure that the shoulder points are meeting equally. Then you go ahead to pin it up. You are going to repeat the same process for the other one. You take the tip or the end of the other splash and you place it on fold and you make sure it meets the tip of the next splash, making sure that they meet equally at that point, and you pin it up. You repeat the same process for the last one and you also pin it up. This is what it looks like after pinning it up. You can see my lines do not align perfectly, but the difference is not that much. I'll use my marker to blend it so that they align very well. Next, I'll go ahead to cut it on that line. After cutting it, this is what we have. So I'll go ahead to unpin this. Next, I'll mark the tip of every slash piece. This will be transferred as clip to our main fabric. After that, I'll go ahead to open up my pattern and this is what it looks like. This other part is the turn up for the cowl, and the deeper it is, the more relaxed it will be inside when you are wearing it. I am using a Duchess fabric, and for this project I used 2.5 yards of Duchess material. I've gone ahead to iron my fabric on fold. This will help me place my pattern easily and cut it out. Your pattern is expected to sit straight on your folded fabric, but if you notice that one of it is going out of the straight pattern, this is what you should do. On this center line, you are going to give it a tiny fold. This fold does not have any inch. Just observe and take note that the other part is seated straight on your fabric. So when it is seated straight, you go ahead to pin it and you cut it out. This point where we mark the start and the end of each slash, you are going to clip it on your main fabric and on the turn up. It will make it easy for you when you are trying to achieve your pleats. For the shoulder pleats, first you are going to pin the turn up on the armhole together and you also pin it at the shoulder. Next, you are going to follow your clip as a guide. You take one clip to meet the other clip to form a pleat. The same way you did while you were folding your pattern, let your clip be a guide, but just in case you forgot to clip it, you can use your pattern to mimic the folds and you can easily make the folds on the shoulder area. Like I said, you clip the start and the end of each slash. That way you can know where you are going to place on each other. And when you do that, you go ahead to pin it up to keep it together. I'll quickly arrange my drape on the floor and this is what it looks like. Now this is a closer look of what our pleats look like when I pinned it up. I'll go ahead to shape it down, and for our turn up I gave it a tiny fold. You can overlock it, and I shaped it with half of an inch instead of 1 inch that I added as sewing allowance. This is to give it ease. Also made the turn up. I gave the turn up a tiny fold at the down, and with my hemming gum I'm going to hem it down. I've joined the shoulder with half of an inch. Now for the down part, you can go ahead to style it as you desire. What I did was I go up by 5 inches on the side, slanted like this, and I also went up by 5 inches on the other side and connected my slant like this. I went ahead to cut it out. Now for the hem, you can decide to give it a tiny fold or you can burn it up. I ended up burning mine up because it looked nice. You can use a candle flame to burn it down to keep it from fraying. Next, you go ahead to make sure your armhole unfold, and this is what you use to cut out the sleeve. If you'd want to see a tutorial on how I cut out the sleeve, kindly let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see you in my next tutorial. Bye.